Today, mortgage stress is rising post the election. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Welcome to our latest post covering finance and property news with a distinctively Australian flavour. We've released the May 2019 Mortgage Stress and Default Analysis Update. Perhaps the rate cuts, the rise in the minimum wage and the tax cuts ahead may turn the tide, but so far none of this matters for current household budgets. On the other hand, more lending may make budgets even tighter if standards are dropped further. Once again, it's the continuing story of pressure on households as ongoing wages growth is not offsetting the cost of living and mortgage repayments as total debt continues to rise. Moreover, the trends have continued post the election. Across Australia, more than 1,070,000 households are now estimated to be in mortgage stress compared with 1,050,000 last month. It's another new record. This equates to more than 31.9% of unoccupied borrowing households. In addition, more than 33,400 of those are in severe stress. And we estimate that more than 70,000 households now risk 30-day default in the next 12 months. This is as the impact of flat wages growth, rising living costs and higher real mortgage rates hit home. Bank losses are likely to rise a little ahead. Our analysis uses the DFA core market model, which combines information from our 52,000 households surveyed, public data from the RBA, the ABS and APRA, and private data from lenders and aggregators. The data is current to the end of May 2019. We analyse households based on cash flow, looking at real incomes, outgoings and mortgage repayments, rather than using an arbitrary 30% of income. Households are defined as stressed when net income or cash flow does not cover ongoing costs. They may or may not have access to other available assets, and some have paid ahead, but households in mild stress have little leeway in their cash flows, whereas those in severe stress are unable to meet repayments from current income. In both cases, households manage this deficit by cutting back on spending, putting more on credit cards, and seeking to refinance, restructure, or sell their homes. Those in severe stress are more likely to be seeking hardship assistance and are often forced to sell. Now the election results are known and the dust has settled, we are still seeing the pressures on households rising, thanks to an accumulation of larger mortgages compared to income, while costs are rising and incomes remain static. Housing credit growth is still running significantly faster than incomes and inflation, and continued rises in living costs, notably childcare, healthcare costs, school fees, electricity prices, and rates are causing significant pain. Many households are depleting their savings to support their finances or are trying to refinance. The probability of default extends our mortgage stress analysis by overlaying economic indicators such as employment, future wages growth, and CPI changes. And our core market model also examines the potential of portfolio risk of loss in basis point and value terms. Losses are likely to be higher among more affluent households, contrary to the popular belief that affluent households are well protected. This is shown in our segment analysis. Hi, excuse the interruption, but if you're getting value from this post and have not done so, please consider subscribing to this channel or ring the bell for custom alerts. Plus, please consider supporting our efforts. You can make a one-off donation via PayPal, here's the link, or subscribe via Patreon for as little as $3 US a month or more to get access to exclusive additional content. Alternatively, you can also donate using Bitcoin. Here is the QR code. The links are in the comments below. I really appreciate your support, which enables us to continue to make more great content. Thanks very much. Now back to the current show. Regional analysis shows that New South Wales has 289,000 households in stress, Victoria 291,000, Queensland 193,000, and Western Australia 141,000. The probability of default rose over the next 12 months, with around 13,200 in Western Australia, around 12,940 in Queensland, 17,800 in Victoria, and 18,800 in New South Wales. The largest financial losses relating to bank write-downs reside in New South Wales at $1.1 billion from owner-occupied borrowers, and Victoria $1.54 billion, although losses are likely to be highest in WA at 3.1 basis points, which equates to more than $1 billion. Here are the top postcodes sorted by the number of households in mortgage stress. Once again, Queensland leads the charge, with areas around Toowoomba the most stressed. But WA still figures in areas such as Tapping and Wanneroo, and New South Wales areas around Liverpool and Campbelltown are in the top 5. Then we find a bunch of Victorian postcodes including Fountain Gate and Narre Warren, Berwick and Harkaway and Pakenham. Many of these areas are on the suburban fringe, where there has been massive new building on large estates, where people purchased around the top of the market, despite higher than average incomes in many instances. Cash flows are under pressure. Many are also now in negative equity, which means that they are unable to refinance to the cheaper, attractive mortgage rates. Hopefully the cash rate cut will provide some relief, but unless we see income growth really taking off soon, I doubt this will help much at all. As normal, a few words on handling mortgage stress. Households who are in financial difficulty should not ignore the signs, though many do. And trying to refinance to solve the problem often just ends up postponing the inevitable. We think there are some simple steps households can take. Step 1 is to draw up a budget so you can see where the money is coming and going. From our research, only half of households have any budget. This means that you can then make decisions about what is most important and what can be foregone. Select and prioritise. Step 2 is to talk with your lender, as they have a legal obligation to assist in cases of hardship. Yet many households avoid having that conversation, hoping the problem will cure itself. I have to say, in the current low-income growth, high-cost environment, that is unlikely. And remember, rates are likely to rise at some point in the future, even if in the short term they dip lower. Step 3, work out what would happen if your mortgage rate were to rise by, say, 0.5% or 1%, and pass that across your budget and examine the impact. Then you'll really know where you are, and then you can plan accordingly. I have to say that whilst rates may be lower than expected for a little while, many households will find fairly limited relief from lower rates, because income is just not sufficient to cover all outgoings. So it's still important to plan ahead. We will continue to track mortgage stress each month and hope to see some easing, but only time will tell. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.